In this video, I'm just going to show you all the practice of calculating standard deviation, and that is from a sample population. So let's go ahead, let's begin. We want to make sure that we have our TI-84 calculator out, and we're going to end up using the OneVerstats program. So what we're going to go ahead and do first is we're going to click Stat, then we're going to go to Edit. We can end up putting our data in here, and so what I always like to do is go up to L1, we can click Clear, press Enter, you'll see our whole list ends up clearing of information. Now what we can do so we can type in these data points. So 11.3, 16.1, 14.5, 22.3, 14.4. Now, please be very, very careful as you are entering this data. What I found as I was working through some sample problems, I was putting in these numbers, and instead of it being like 11.3, it was only registering, like it wouldn't register one of the numbers, so it'd be a 1.3. So just make sure that you're going through here checking your data. So we've got 11.3, 16.1, 14.5, 22.3, 14.4. That all looks good. What we're going to do next, we're going to click Stat. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Calculate. We're going to go to OneVerstats. Now we did end up putting our data into L1, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Enter 3 times. Boom. And so now SX, that is our sample standard deviation. The S stands for sample there. And so now what we can end up putting in here is 4.07, and we are including or rounding up to the first two decimal places. So that's why it's 4.07. So 4.07. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one's a bit easier. We've got some cleaner numbers there. So what we're going to do, we're going to quit. I'm going to go back into Stat. Remember, this is the first step. We got to enter in our data. It's all in L1. So then now what I can do is I can press Clear, and I can press Enter. Okay. So now what we can do is we can put our data in 1, 6, 2, 2, and then 8. Now that we've got that data entered, we can go to Stat again. Instead of editing our data, what we want to do with that data is we want to calculate. What do we want to calculate? The OneVerstats. Now if I press Enter 3 times, we can find that it's 3.03, right? Because this is a 3. We're going to round it down. So 3.03, 3.03. Okay, let's do this next one too. This one we got a little bit not as clean numbers. So let's go ahead. Let's go to Stat. Remember, we got to go Edit, pop up here, Clear, Enter. Now we can go 6.1. Be careful as you're entering these numbers. Make sure you're entering them correctly. 5.7, 6.7, 5.0. Now I'm going to double check that. Okay, it looks like we got all of our data entered in there correctly. We're going to go Stat. Instead of editing our list, we're going to calculate using that list that we entered the data in. It was L1. If it's ever the case where this is a different list for you, if you go second, you can then hit List. Then you can go through and select the different lists that you're using. But since we're using L1, we're going to continue to use L1, right? So we've got 1.65. So 1.65. Okay, next we're gonna do this last one here. So as we go through this, we can go in here. I'm gonna click Second, Quit, Stat. We're gonna go to Edit. I need to edit my data, right? Because we got the new data. So then now we can put in 4.6, 3.5, 3, 1.4, then 3.8. So now go back to Stat. We're gonna go to Calc, OneVerstats, enter 3 times. Now you can see we're at 1.19. So 1.19. Okay, perfect. So that's all. We can end up submitting the quiz, and it's going to be the first 5 are going to be unanswered, right? Because we were just doing the practice for the sample standard deviation. And so as you can see here, we got all those correct. Anyways, hope that was helpful. Just as a little bit of a recap, remember if you're on the TI-84, all we got to do, there's 2 steps. Enter your data. So you click Stat, go to Edit, enter your data into there on the list. After you've got that, click Stat again, and then we just go over to Calc, OneVerstats, and then whatever the value is for SX, that's your sample standard deviation. Okay, so that's sample standard deviation. This down here, you might be looking at the sigma, and you might be thinking, oh yeah, that's the symbol for standard deviation. This is actually the population standard deviation. So if they ever asked for, in particular, the population standard deviation, you'd go to that lowercase sigma right here. You'd use that value, but because we're all focused on just the sample standard deviation, we're going to go SX. Anyways, hope that was helpful. Catch you all in the next video. Ciao.